Yes, man. We're back in the building, bro. Yes, yes, yes. The Premier League is about to kick off, man. Tomorrow, Liverpool, the champions. Yeah, I mean, they're kicking off the Premier League 25-26 season, man. And I think this one's gonna be real interesting. It's gonna be real interesting, man. Big up to everybody who's watching, big up to those who watch on the replay, and I mean, all of that good stuff, man. Yes, people have moaned that I haven't done enough lives. So I said, okay, you know what? Big up Ends, big up Savage, by the way. They did their Premier League predictions yesterday. That was interesting. That was that was very interesting. That was very interesting. If you guys haven't seen it, make sure you go head on over to Football with Ends. Check that out. It was a very they explained it very well. They explained it very well. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it. I wasn't able to make it. So I said, you know what, this morning quick one, just before I guess everybody kind of kicks off their day and all the other streams kind of kick off. I said, you know what, let's do my quick Premier League predictions for the 25-26 season. um Obviously it's a tricky one because I was hoping, obviously I knew, but I was hoping that when they do the transfer window, that at least the window would close and then we can start the Premier League, because obviously now it's like, oh, okay, we've still got, let's say Liverpool obviously kick off tomorrow. They're probably not gonna, even if they were to sign Gay, I don't know if he was able to play, let's say for example tomorrow. Um, so I'm in my head, I'm like, yeah, like you could do another one. I was thinking about doing another prediction maybe when the window does close, but I didn't want to be unfair. I didn't want to be unfair because by then they've probably played about 2-3 league games. You know what I mean? These times, when you see the funny ones at the beginning of the season, I don't know, Brighton are top after 3 games kind of thing. But yeah, and obviously the signings are going to make a massive impact for every team, not even just Liverpool. But I said, you know what, fuck it, man. Like it is what it is. You know what I mean? We just have to live and die, by the things that we say, man. Good morning to Morris in the building. Big up LFC side as well. Yeah, I'm all good, man. I am all good, good, good. We are repeating. Listen, I hope so. I hope so. But I'm gonna go with what I think. That might be a repeat. I don't know. I'm still kind of undecided. I've got it like written down in my head here, right? And obviously I'll bring up the tier list in a second. But I've got it written in my head, Liz. Like, okay, or written down, should I say? All right, this is who I've got here. But then I've moved a couple teams. The mid-table teams, when we're looking at them, I'm kind of like, they're mid-table teams, the usual teams that we kind of find in there. I'm not really bothered about those kind of positions. Like, I feel like I might even just get those wrong just for the sake of it. But it's more the big one, I think, is going to be like the top 7. I think that those 7 teams, that was where I struggled, because I was like, a few teams have surprised me so far in the window. There's a few teams who have been underwhelming this window, who I thought, okay, they're going to be really good. Obviously, we'll rap about them in a sec. So yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky, and that's why I said big up to Ends and Savage again, because yeah, the fact that they were able to kind of get through that. Yeah, man, big up to them, man. But yeah, big up Honesty in the building. And again, good morning to Liz. All right, let's just get this show on the road. All right. So obviously got the champions, second to fourth, fifth to seventh. I don't know, by the way, and maybe you guys in the chat can obviously tell me, or anybody watching this on a replay can let me know. I don't know like how many spaces off a Champions League. Is it 5? Is it 4? How many spaces off a Europa League? I don't know, by the way. So I didn't put anything there because I actually don't really understand. I'll be honest with you. Big up Bingo in the building. I'm still broken from yesterday. Big up to yourself. We run it back. I'm not scared of no team in the Premier League. Bro, I don't think there's any team who are scary, though, to be honest. Like, I don't think if you were any team, I'd be scared of any team. I don't really look at it like that. I don't think there's many out there. But let's start off with the relegation. Let's start off with relegation. I don't really care about, what is it, 18th, 19th, and 20th. Yeah, like I don't know in which order. Like I'm not even gonna do that because I actually don't really know. But when I was looking at when I'm looking at the teams and stuff like that, obviously you got the promoted teams. Burnley, I think they are, for me, and I don't even want to be disrespectful to Burnley, but for me, Burnley are like a shoe-in, in my opinion, to be relegated this season. Um, yeah, I just don't trust. I don't know what it is. I just don't trust Burnley. Unless the only way I would see something for Burnley is if, I don't know, like another team, like hopefully Everton, but like if another team was to just perform really, really poorly, like they underperform like crazy this season. That's the only way I kind of really see like something different in there. But yeah, for me, Burnley, whether it's 18th, 19th, or 20th, I don't even really know. But I think they're definitely, what I mean, getting relegated. Four for the Champions League. Okay, fair. If it's four, then fair enough. I didn't know because obviously last season it was five. So I don't know if that was gonna change or anything like that. But if Morris is saying four, then we'll go with four. We'll go with four. But yeah, so I've gone with Burnley in there. The other team that I was thinking, hold on, let me even go to my notes. Let me go to my notes. All right. So obviously we've got Leeds obviously came up as well and Sunderland. Leeds, I don't know about Leeds, I don't know. I don't know how good Leeds are going to necessarily be in the Premier League next season. I'll be honest with you. I don't, I'm struggling to like, yeah, I'm struggling. I'm proper struggling to see like how good Leeds are going to kind of do this season. If I'm being honest with you, I can't really think like they could scrape it, but I don't know if there's another team. You know what I mean? And big up, yeah, big up. See, that's what I'm saying. I think going forward, that's what I'm saying. I looked at everyone's squads before I chose it, and I was like, yeah, nah, Leeds don't really look like they got it popping at all. I'll keep it a buck, man. So yeah, I'll throw Leeds in there again. They could finish 18th. You know what I mean? So who knows? But I feel like they might get relegated. The last team, the last team, the last team, the last team. At first, I was going to go all three promoter teams, and my brain was slightly going there anyway. But I don't feel like Sunderland are getting relegated. Now, obviously, that might be me being a bit naive and a bit silly because, of course, Sunderland, they've signed a lot of players. They've signed a couple good players, by the way, signed a couple good players. So you could look at it both ways. Like you sign too many players, how can they gel? Will they be able to, stay up? But I feel like they've signed enough quality for them in the position that they're at. I feel like they can stay up. I feel, and I even feel like, let's say when it gets to January, if they're in trouble, I feel like they'll just sign some more players. Like they'll do everything they can to stay in the league. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you guys think. LFC side saying, "Gee, Sunderland will stay." I think they said, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, big up, honestly, saying Burnley, Forest. Forest is another team again that I looked at and I was like, it sounds dumb, right? Because Forest did fucking fantastically, but Forest is so weird, and I feel like with European football, it could go. You know what I'm saying? It could go a bit mad. Big up, Scratch, my boy in the building. Hope you're blessed, man. Hope you're blessed. But yeah, Forest would be like a dark horse, but I didn't have them there, to be fair, so I'm not gonna put Forest there. I'll be honest. There's two teams. There's two teams I've got here. It's West Ham and Wolves. I think, and is it Graham Potter? Yeah, big up to Graham Potter. I like him. I think maybe this season for me, it's between West Ham and Wolverhampton Wanderers. I feel like I'm leaning more to Wolves purely because of Cunha. Obviously, Cunha going, to me, that's massive. The business that the minimal business that I've seen anyway. I have they even actually not? Have they even signed anybody? Let me even double check Wolves' transfer business. Like, someone let me know in the chat. Have Wolves even like who have Wolves signed? Like, trying to little, but yeah, for me, it's one of those. Brentford, don't worry, Brentford are coming close. Morris is saying it's top five for okay, it's top five. Okay, yeah. I thought that's what I'm saying, Morris. I didn't know. I didn't know. So yeah, don't worry. I fully didn't really know. Yeah, and scrapped again. So there's three teams. Out of those three teams, Brentford, Wolves, and West Ham, I will go with. I'm still slightly leaning to. I'm gonna put Wolves. I'm gonna put Wolves, you know, because I feel like Brentford. Yeah, listen, don't get twisted. Like, I think losing Thomas Frank, losing Mbuemo, potentially losing Visser as well. But I don't know. I look at them and think they're a bit like how you know how like Brighton can always keep getting players, and you know what I mean. You lose Caicedo, guess what? We get Belieber. Do you know what I mean? Like they can just continuously keep doing that. I don't feel like Wolves are that type of team. Like I feel like they're only going to stay up if they are good enough to stay up. There is no like conveyor belt of oh no, but we get really good players in, so we can just keep swapping and changing. Brentford, again, like I said, it's a massive loss. Those manager plus the players, but I feel that they can have just about enough to stay in the Premier League. Do you get? And yeah, big up LFC side. Their defense, I feel, is good enough to at least keep them. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Big up Marquet as well. Wolves have signed Arias. And that's what I'm saying, Liz. Wolves usually do punch above their weight. Do you get what I'm saying? Brentford managed their set piece coach. Yeah, I know. It's what's his name? Keith Andrews. I think he used to play for Blackburn, old school. Yeah, I know. And I cussed that. And I remember saying this to Jerry. I cussed that because I was like, bro, I can't take that seriously. But when I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, but then there's still other teams in the league who you just need to be better than those teams. It's a bit like it's like what they say in it. Like if you're trying to outrun an animal, right? And if you're with someone, as long as you outrun the person that you're with, then you're good. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like it will be like that type of situation for for a team like Brentford. As long as you can outrun those guys, it doesn't even matter how bad you are because you just need to outrun the people behind you. So yeah, I'm gonna put Wolves, but big up to everybody because again, you could have put Brentford there, you could have put West Ham there. Like you know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm not going to argue with anyone's point if you had any of those other teams there. Big up, honestly, if they don't change too much from Thomas Frank's philosophy, Brentford will be yeah, same. And that's what I think. I don't feel like they're going to do that too tough, but who knows? Let's wait and see. So just above that, so you got 15th, 16th, and 17th. So I'm definitely putting West Ham in there. This is where I can put the Brentfords in there. Where are they? Brentford. And then I will also throw in who's the other team? I'll probably throw in, you know what, Bournemouth are a shout. Bournemouth are a shout, you know. Bournemouth are a shout. Strand Larson, 14 non-penalty. Yeah, that's I know. But you know when Cunha was really the Don Dada? Excuse me, yeah. Cunha was really the guy. Sunderland. That's it. Yeah, Sunderland. Yeah, now scratch, you're right. Let's go with Sunderland. Let's go with Sunderland. Again, I know like it says it obviously it says 15th to 17th. Again, most of these positions, okay, basically, like I said, the table for me, I don't really care about. You can place them in whatever kind of order you want. I'll leave that to the viewer's discretion. Right now, I'm just like, okay, relegation teams. If I had to pick, maybe Leeds might, put up a heroic battle. I'll just give them that. They'll put up a heroic battle, but they'll all fall short. 15th to 17th, again, I think maybe Sunderland would probably finish like a 17th, maybe. In fact, no. Yeah, no, Sunderland finish 17th. Yeah, Sunderland, I'll give them that. Big up Tyler. Relegation battle would actually be, no, it will. It will. Like these 6 teams, by the way, I thought it could be any of them. Like, don't think just because I put them there that it's going to change. No. It could be any of them. It really, really could be any of them. Bournemouth lost 3. Yep, don't worry. I didn't forget that, but I put Bournemouth in the Brighton category, just not as good as the Brighton, like in terms of scouting wise. But I think they just signed, is it a defender from Lille? Centre back from Lille. They have lost players, but I don't feel like it's going to be enough to put them down that far anyway, kind of thing. But again, I could be chatting shit. 11th to 14th. So what's that? 11th, 12th, 13th. Okay, cool. So 11th to 14th. So you got about 4 teams in there, right? 4 teams? Yeah. 3, 6, 4, 10. Yeah. Okay, cool. Because then you got the top 10 after that. 14th. This is where I'm looking at Bournemouth, Everton. All right, let me just put them up there just so I know. Bournemouth, Everton, Fulham, Palace. I don't know. Actually, now I'm rethinking. Now I'm rethinking. Who made that comment about Nottingham Forest, man? Diakite, good centre back. Yeah. Hey, you lot are spot on. You lot are spot on. Wolves is irrelevant. Morris, that ain't nice, bro. That ain't nice at all. Manchester United. No. Don't worry. We got a shot with Manchester United. Don't worry, man. We'll get to them anyway. So yeah, we're talking Bournemouth, Everton, Fulham, Palace. Palace, obviously, we don't know what gone with Gay. Obviously, this is at the time of this video on the 14th of August at 11:06 a.m. I know Liverpool. I woke up this morning. I see quite. By the way, I didn't know Liverpool signed that Palmer centre back. So big up to Liverpool for that. Yeah, Gay. I don't know what's going on with him. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, big up Scraps. I did see that as well. I see that. I saw someone commenting on that. Should I say more than anything else? Honestly, saying he's got Manu 14th. Manu are either going to finish 14th or they're going to finish exactly where I think they're going to finish. Like, I don't even think there's going to be a middle ground with them. But I've got them in the top 10 anyway, just spoiler alert. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, perfect. Bournemouth, I think you guys are right, just in terms of the players that they lost an entire defense. So I would be surprised, even with the players that they may replace them with, I'm still going to be surprised if they were to finish, like near a top 10 kind of thing, considering you still may need a season to be able to just get those players to gel kind of thing. Because yeah, I just feel like it'd be not impossible, but yeah, I mean, Iraola is a good manager, but yeah, I still think it'd be quite difficult to do. I actually think Everton, new stadium, Braithwaite signed a new deal. They got Jack Grealish on loan. I think Everton will be calm. As much as that annoys me, I actually think they'll be calm. Like, I don't think they'll be in any relegation type of battle. If they are, I mean, bro, just hurry up and get freaking relegated. But I think, yeah, they'll be kind of cool. Fulham, weird one, because I always feel like they're like in the space that Fulham are in right now. I don't know if they're like one of those teams where it's like, we've got money-ish, but we're just trying to establish ourselves really in the Premier League. Like, we're not pushing the boat out. Excuse me. We're not pushing the boat out. Can we surprise the Premier League like a Nottingham Forest? Maybe that's kind of what they're looking for, trying to surprise the Premier League like with a random season like that. I don't look at them as any type of relegation candidates or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? But it's like they're not threatening anybody in any way, kind of thing. So, and again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I just don't look at them in terms of the way that they go about their business, the things that they do on and off the pitch, even just on the pitch anyway with Marco Silva. Again, I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes it's like you're a difficult team to face, but you're not so difficult that Wolves can't beat you. You know what I mean? They're like in a weird space. So yeah, but I think they'll finish in and around there. And then obviously Palace, as I mentioned, as a Gay, we don't really know kind of thing what's going to kind of happen there. So I've kind of got them over there, man. Let's see what the peeps are saying. For me, Fulham will be 12th because they are one of them teams that can beat a big. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They can beat a big club on their day, but then they can lose to the bottom of the bottom of the table. So it's mad. Good thing for Bournemouth is them keeping their attack. Losing the defense is tough. Replacements can do a job yet. Yeah, I don't disagree. Saying they scored 1 in a 3-1 loss to Fulham. Imagine that. Fulham always bag 2 or 3 goals against us. Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, you know what I mean? I don't know. Liverpool are funny like that. All right, let's go to the top 10 now. Let's go to the top 10. So we've got 8th, 9th, and 10th. Here I'll go with Forest. Not definitely, but I'll put Forest in there. Brighton. No, don't worry, guys. I ain't frozen. I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to think smartly. Like, I know who I've got on my list that I'm writing down, but again, when I'm now looking at it, I'm kind of like changing my mind a little bit. Let me just give it a once over real quick. Let me know who you guys will put in there anyway. Um, so my brain is thinking to put Aston Villa in there. Now I know that might be a bit of a shock. I know that might be a bit of a shock. But it's between Aston Villa and Newcastle. And here's why. Here's why. Here's why. I think the top, yeah, see, scrap saying Newcastle. I think when it comes to these positions, the top 8, it's not going to be a case of, oh, because they're so dead this season. I actually think, and again, word to Savage and Ends, because they both mentioned this yesterday, it's going to be, the table's going to be so competitive and closer that they're just inevitably going to finish in those positions just because they're just not as good as, say, the top 4 teams that I'm going to have there, if that kind of makes sense. It's not going to be because, oh man, they've been dead this season. No, I don't think it's going to be that. I just think that the way the pennies will, oh, the way the chips may land, it's just going to be one of those kind of things. So, yeah, I think between Aston Villa and Newcastle, if I had to pick, I'd probably pick Newcastle. I can't even lie, man. I feel like, I think Brighton are better than Forest. Yeah, maybe just. You can put them in any order, by the way. Any order. Like, I just put them there just so I can have them on the screen. But I'll go with. I feel like if Isak was to stay, yeah, if I knew Isak was staying, I'd be a bit more confident in where I might even have put them higher, and may even have put them higher. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm still thinking. What's going on? Brother, I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on. Yeah. And by the way, this is what I'm saying. If we'll get to Man United when we get to Man United. Don't worry. We'll get to Man United when we get there. You know what? I'll go with Villa for now. I'll go. Whoops, not in there. So I'll put Villa there just for aesthetic purposes. So yeah, Villa could finish there. They nearly did finish there anyway, but yeah, they could finish there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel like Newcastle, man, you lot are flipping annoying because obviously got Champions League this season as well. Yeesh. You know what? You know what? Sorry. Let's put Newcastle in there instead, and then we can put Aston Villa, Tottenham, 5, 6, 7. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. That makes me feel a lot better. Honestly, saying Villa will come 7th. Yeah, that's a maybe. That is a maybe. Oh man, I've got to get this fever sorted out. Tottenham are prepared to open formal talks with Crystal Palace for Eberechi Eze. The plan to return to the table reported 2 days ago, 100% confirmed. Fabrizio. Yeah. That's why I've got Tottenham there. 5th, 6th, and 7th. Let me even move that because I don't actually think it would end like that. I think there we go. Now, let's start with Manchester United because I already know man was getting angry. Do you know what I mean about the whole United thing? They signed Sesko Embuemo Cunha. They're looking at Baliba, not saying they get him. And if they do get him, I don't feel like my prediction will change that much in terms of maybe they'll go from 7th to 5th, like in terms of how I think of it, right? I genuinely think, and I've watched them a few times this preseason, highlights. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, you've got 1 game a week, no European football, right? With the players that you've got, I can't see why you couldn't push for thing. I know it's Manchester United. As we know, they can capitulate on a mad thing. They could do a craziness, and now they're finishing where they finished last season, right? But with everything that kind of went on, with Ruben Amorim obviously coming in, Ten Hag obviously leaving, players. You got this guy Rashford. Is he here? Is he not here? You got Sancho. Is he here? Is he not here? Anthony. Is he here? Is he not here? Garnacho. They've got a lot of things that I still think they need to sort out. So they could potentially finish higher if they're able to sort out all of those dead wood players. So, like I said, the Antonys, the Sanchos, the Garnachos, sort all of that out, get the players that you need in. I feel like they can be calm. I saw the other day they've got a 300 million, is it 300 million pound credit facility thing, so they can spend, like, that's how much they were given to be able to spend, right? Hence why they're able to do all of these deals and, you know, get some of these players and etc. So I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, boy, if they get a couple of sales in, and they can get a few more players. I know I've heard rumors about the whole Donnarumma thing. Obviously, it looks like now he's potentially going to Manchester City, but I saw that. Again, get a new goalkeeper and a midfielder. I feel like Manchester United are calm, you know. Like, that's a good team that they've got, in my personal opinion. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's why I've got them there. Tottenham, I think I'm not going to take last season too much into account when it comes to Spurs. I actually think watching them play this preseason, I mean, I watched the Arsenal game during preseason. Didn't watch the full game last night, the Super Cup, but I watched the highlights. But I listened to what some people have said in regards to that. I think Tottenham would surprise people. I actually think, yeah, they're going to go from wherever the hell they finished last season. I feel like they're going to just shoot up that league. I feel like they've got the quality enough in that team to be able to do so. I think with how meticulous Thomas Frank actually is, with everything obviously he's done at Brentford and stuff like that. And of course, I'm not saying you can always just translate that over to another team, but I almost feel like Tottenham is a good enough is a good team for you to be able to do that. And they're a team that needed a bit more sense of direction in terms of what they're about, what they're trying to do. Obviously, I think, was it honestly, you just put the news there about potentially getting in Eze. Obviously, we know Madison's obviously injured. I think Tottenham, yeah, I look at Tottenham and I think you've got a very good team, very, very good team, good players. Manager, I rate highly in Thomas Frank. Yeah, man, I'm gonna put them finishing fifth, and you never know, finishing fifth. I mean, they're in the Champions League anyway this season, so who knows what they can do with that. If they can just get in a few more players, do you get what I'm trying to say? If they can sign a couple more players, and to be honest, for Tottenham, it's more about depth. As we saw last season, that depth was not depth in at all. Do you know what I mean? So that's what they need, if I'm being totally honest with you. So yeah, it's one of those. I think we need those two signings. We are chasing Tabino's. No, that's what I'm saying. I feel like Tottenham, they're a team I'm watching closely next season, because I think they're going to be playing very good football. And I like the football that they did play against the Arsenal. Again, I didn't see the PSG, so I don't know if it's very similar in terms of the style of play, but I can't see why it wouldn't be. But I like that kind of football. You're talking about, look at that, Savinho, Eze, what's it, that Akaluchi guy, Kudus. I can't lie. Now you're looking at the team and you're like, at least, even if you play a few of those, excuse me, even if you played a few of those, that's very good depth that you've then, let's say, I don't know, in the number 10, you played Eze, but obviously when Madison comes back, that's another player to obviously play there. Kudus might not always play. Savinho might not. I don't know how he's going to kind of do it, but having those players and then still having your bench players there, that's just always what I feel Tottenham are missing. So yeah, man, I've got them there. Man United, as I said, and Villa. I don't know. Even Villa just seem like, I don't even know what you are right now. Like, are you trying to get Champions League football or not? Like, because it seems like you try to flirt with it. You got it obviously that 1 year, then you're kind of moving for Gazy, but then you may get it this year. I don't know, man. Like, you're kind of annoying. And you would hope Kulusevski comes back for the depth too. Exactly. But yeah, that's my 5th to 7th. Now we get to the fun stuff. Man. Crikey. Let me take a sip of drink. All right. I could just throw the teams that I think, no, the teams I got written down, to be fair. I'll put one team in there. Chelsea. I think Chelsea, yeah. I think top 4. I don't, yeah. Like I even have them down as I think this title race is just going to be real. It's not going to be as comfortable for Liverpool, I think. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Yeah. No, it's actually dilute, bro. Let me even show you the look. Scraps. Now you got me fucking out here. Look, it's dilute. Can you see it? Double strength thing. Oh, the thing's all blurred. But it's the double strength thing, man. It's a double strength thing. Yeah, I mean, you know what? I actually don't have an LFC cup. You know what I've got? I've got Enz's Enz's got that big mug, man, the Sports Direct thing. I've got that mug. But I don't have a Liverpool. I ain't got a Liverpool one, which is kind of odd. I had a Liverpool no, you know what I did have? I can't even find it. I had like this Liverpool like flask, but you know when I took it to football years ago, and then I thought yeah. You know what's funny about that? When I bought that in Sports Direct, I don't even know what possessed me to buy it. I was in uni when I bought it. It was so annoying. So annoying. Anyways, big up Tyler, man. Big up Tyler, man. I don't get to catch these as much lately, but all the best and keep grinding. Now, big up, bro. To be fair, there's not many that I do, but tomorrow I'm going to also do another live in the morning as well, talking specifically about Liverpool and where I've placed them and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, make sure you join in tomorrow. But big up again for the super chat, man. Much love and appreciation to Tyler. All right, so we've got Chelsea in there. We've got Man City in there. I might shuffle them position wise, but just for the sake of for me to put them in there. We're down to the last two, Liverpool and Arsenal. I'm just going to put the team in there, and then you guys can battle that one out. All right. All right. Big up Liz for the mug fun. All right, you know what? I'll go out and get a Liverpool. No, ain't they got a sale? Ain't they got a sale? Ain't they got a sale? Like all the Liverpool stuff is all like all the old stuff, like the Nike stuff. Ain't they got a sale? They must have a mug in there. The McAllister mug fund. All right. So you guys can obviously see I've put Arsenal to win the Premier League, right? And let me even shuffle these other positions because I don't think that's how it's going to end. There we go. Now, I've got Liverpool third at the moment, just from how my thought process is and stuff. By the way, it makes sense that they put Liverpool as favourites to win the league. They just won the league at a canter. So, yeah, it does make sense. I'm also not going to argue with anybody who thinks Liverpool will win the league. That also makes sense. It makes like 110%. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Big up, honestly, man. Been a member for 6 months. Big up to your damn self. If you got a Palace mug, no. Rad, G10 and Babyface. No, I'll just hear me out. Just hear me out. All right. I've got Chelsea there in fourth, right? I think, yeah, Chelsea being fourth. Yeah, they could. I think the top four is going to be like it's going to just be one of those battles where when you get to like game week, what's that, 38 games? When you get to like game week, I don't know, 33, and you've got like 5 games left, I feel like we're going to then start looking at the table. By that point, whoever was in fourth, they won't be able to get enough points to win the league. Now, they're not going to finish far off of everybody. They just wouldn't have enough to, oh, okay, even if you win these 5 games, it won't make a difference because all it takes is the 2 teams who are first and second, they just need to win their next 2 as an example. And, you know what I mean? You'll finish third or you'll finish fourth, but you only finish like 5 or 6 points behind the team who finished first and second. I hope that makes sense. That's why I've got Chelsea there. That could change. They could finish third. Liverpool, I've got third because I think this season is what is actually going to be the transition season for Liverpool. Even if they sign Isak, even if they sign Gay, I still look at Liverpool and think you've made way too many changes to your team, and I don't know what that looks like for Liverpool. Unfortunately, you are not Chelsea. They are a club who are used to having these kind of changes and still being a somewhat decent team, right? Not winning the league, but they're still a decent enough team to do whatever it is that they need to do. They can sign a whole host of players. We're signing all of these players, and they are good players. Florian Wirtz, Frimpong, all of them are good players, right? I think they're good players anyway, or decent enough. And I just don't know what that looks like for Liverpool. I'm looking at the way that Liverpool play as well, and I'm just like, I still feel like you guys are still trying to figure out what the hell it is you're trying to do. Whatever that is, whatever that is. Like Arne Slot will deal with that. And again, tomorrow I'll go more into depth in regards to Liverpool and then explain myself properly. But I've got them in second, third. Like it's between them and Manchester City. I don't know who's going to finish second and third. Like Man City are like Liverpool. You've also made a lot of changes to your team. But I say back, but I have more to go on with Pep Guardiola and knowing what he's about as a manager and what he can actually do than I do with Arne Slot. Slot is either going to do a madness and this team is going to go storm the league again on a crazy thing, playing the best football you've ever seen, or they're going to just finish third. But it's not going to be like a disrespectful third. I don't look at it like that. Or second. But again, it's not going to be a disrespectful second. It will just be like, oh, okay, cool. That team was just better than you. Arsenal are the only stable team in that top four. They're the only team that when I look at, I'm like, yeah, but they're not even changing the nuke. Like they're not really changing the team too much. Add Gyökeres, add Zubamendi. That's it. in terms of to their lineup, Liverpool, add the new left back, add a new right back, looking to potentially add a new centre back, who everyone tells me can replace or can swap with Konate, right? Add a new striker, add a new attacking midfielder, potentially add a new forward before the window ends. You're changing too much. Like for that to be then sustainable and then be like, yeah, they'll just be able to click and then we go. I don't know. I'm not really that confident. City are in the same boat. You add in Cherky, you add in Reinders, potentially looking at the, add in Rodrigo with all the other players that they've signed as well. I'm like, I don't know about that. But I trust Pep Guardiola to be able to just sort that out anyway and get the team popping. Arsenal are, for me, that team that I just think I look at and I think you're not really changing much. And you didn't have much to improve upon. Your team wasn't like, obviously, I know Arsenal fans will tell you, like themselves, and and obviously they're Arsenal fans. They'll obviously talk about, new winger. Obviously, they got Madueke in, Gyökeres, all of that kind of stuff, right? Fairs. And again, I'm not an Arsenal fan, so I'm not watching them that deeply and I'm not thinking about them in that kind of way. But when I watch them and when I look at them, I'm like, yeah, I just think all you needed to really do was add the striker anyway. Everything else was purely for depth purposes. Then, and I feel like you've kind of done that. Yeah, I think Arsenal will be the team that will win the league. I'll be honest with you. I think they'll finally, and I just don't. If they don't win the league, bruv, you can't keep Arteta unless he goes out and wins the Champions League. I just feel like they're going to just be like, this is your last season type of energy, but this is your last season. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't think. I feel like their squad is ready. They got players at like the perfect ages. The Sakas, the Martinellis, Gyökeres, Zubamendi, the Kai Havertz, Saliba, Gabriel. Like, they've got so many players that I just think they've been together for so long. It's like, now is the time. Now has to be the time for you guys. Like, there just can't be another moment that we're waiting for Arsenal to, do you know what I mean, pattern up and do this and do that and, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that Arsenal will win the league. I don't want them to, but I just think they're going to be consistent and they'll be consistent enough to be able to win the league. Listen, it might not be pretty. It might be set piece FC. Excuse me. Got really back off. It might be set piece FC. I don't really know, but I just think that that's where they're headed. I just think that that's where they're headed. Arteta can't be around this time next year. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, as in, you cannot go another year where it's like, oh yeah, no, it's okay. You didn't win the league, but we finished in 6th and rare tear. No, it don't really work like that. So yeah, that's my Premier League predictions. So Arsenal as Premier League champions. Relegation, we've got Leeds, Burnley, and Wolverhampton Wanderers. The rest are the rest. I'd say the more shock ones to people, I guess, would be Man United. I've got them in the top 7. Newcastle, maybe I put them down into 8th. The rest, I feel like most people would have them in these kind of positions, maybe just swapped around a little bit. But yeah, I think it's going to really only be the Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool potentially. Like I said, there is no reason why anyone should think that Liverpool shouldn't be favourites. If you just won the Premier League and you've added players of a certain quality, it does make sense as to why you would put them as favourites. But yeah, sometimes it's just not about sense. Sometimes it is really just about a gut feeling. But like I said, we'll talk about Liverpool properly tomorrow morning. I don't know what time, maybe around about the same time as I've done this. So yeah, make sure you guys obviously stay tuned, stay locked in. Big up to every single person who locked in this morning. Quickish type of stream, 40 minutes, so not too long. I don't know if Ends is streaming later on today. Let me have a little. He ain't sent a message, so I don't know if he's actually streaming today, to be fair. Let's see. Is Ends streaming today? He did put out a video, to be fair, earlier on. The Liverpool versus Bournemouth, I guess, match preview. It wasn't a live though. So yeah, Savage saying. No, I don't see anything here. Yeah, no. All right. None of them are streaming, and I'm not looking for anybody else. We'll wrap up. Anyone got any questions or anything like that before I wrap this up? Chelsea to give share of Club World Cup player bonuses to family of Diogo and Andre Silva. Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. I can't lie. That's dope. Even with Gay Leone, it's still Arsenal. Saliba Gabriel partnership is the best, plus Rice's DM. I do think that the Gabriel and Saliba partnership is as good as Van Dijk and Konate. I'll say that much. So yeah, I'll put that. Rice looks like, I don't know, this brother seems like he's gonna have one of them mad seasons. Like I actually feel like he's gonna have a really good season. You know what? Actually, I'll do my top goal scorer. I'll do a few other things. Top goal scorer for the season, I think, is going to be Haaland. Yeah, I think it's going to be Haaland. I can't think of anybody else like that. There might be a few surprises depending on certain players moving to certain teams. But yeah, I'm going to go with Haaland, top goal scorer. Player of the season, Declan Rice. If Arsenal win the Premier League anyway, I think Declan Rice will win the player of the season. Like I think he'll have a better season than Bukayo Saka. Young player of the season. The young player, I don't even know, man, because I don't know like the age that these lot are classing young player. Like Gravenberch won it last season. Like big up to him for winning it. I'm like, bro, how old are you? Like, you're still winning young player of the year. Like, that thing should be cut off, man. I don't know. I'd probably the young player I'm watching anyway is Oscar Bob. Like, that's the one I think I really want to see what he's about because I think his brother is cold. Yeah, I think that's it. Surprise of the season, I think I would just leave it as maybe, you know what? Maybe surprise of the season in terms of team wise, it will be Spurs. I think Spurs will surprise a lot of teams next season. I think I don't know what it is, man. Spurs are just so weird. So weird. And it's so funny because last season I predicted them to finish like top 4 or whatever. Look what happened. They ended up finishing. I predicted them to get Champions League spot. and they ended up getting it via winning the Europa League, but finishing like wherever they finished. So, yeah. Player of the year, Florian Wirtz. We'll talk about it tomorrow. I don't feel like he's going to have that good of a season anyway, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll talk about it. We'll chop that up properly. Everton was also another team I did. Yeah. You know, if I don't pick Spurs, I'll pick Everton. I feel like they're just going to do. They're going to have a good season. I don't feel like they're going to struggle too tough. The young player I'm looking for is did he get Sunderland? I like to. Yep. I need to really take a look at Sunderland's team, man, and see what's you know what I mean, what's going on. Big up anyone going to stick their neck out and discuss Salah role. Though tomorrow we are going to talk through Liverpool. We're going to talk through Liverpool. I'm going to chop it up with you guys, and we're going to talk about Liverpool properly, like really, really properly. No, that's not the one. On a slot, he might be young, but he already won a lot. His mentality is maybe his biggest strength. That says a lot. You see him play and think, are you serious? Because he is so creative. He doesn't get distracted by anything. Yeah, I think Wirtz, the only way Wirtz is going to have a really good season is if the other players are on his wavelength. If the rest of the team can match his wavelength, then I feel like you'll be calm. I feel like Wirtz will be calm next season. Then he can have a good season. If not, Wirtz won't look that good. He's going to need everyone to be on his wavelength because his wavelength is already above what we've already seen. We've seen that in the games. I've seen what he can do. I'm like, yeah, you're like as I say, the diamond in the rough, in it. Like I'm looking at you, and I'm looking say diamond in the mud. I'm looking at you, and I'm like, what you can do. I don't know if anyone else is on that same level though, in terms of the way that they think, the way that the team thinks. So let's see. But yeah, and that's what I also think. I just feel like Liverpool, you'll see the best of them, not this season coming. So what's that, 26, 27 year? I feel like that's when you'll see Liverpool kick into mad gear. But we might play better football. But we'll wait and see. But yes, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. Yeah, like I said, tomorrow I'll be back live for talking about Liverpool, my expectations and what I expect, obviously, from Liverpool going into the season. So talking about all the trophies and etc. I might do it with some of the guys if they're free. If not, again, man, I'll chop out myself and then give you guys my honest opinions. I may drop another video later on today. So just make sure you guys obviously stay locked in and stay tuned. On a slot on Jeremy Frimpong, Connor Bradley. I think Jeremy and Connor can both contribute to Mo's output. We'll chop it out, man. We'll chop out. But guys, big up to yourself, and I'll catch you very, very soon. And again, big up to Tyler for the super chat, man.